Right then, this is a quick walk around video and for a quite exceptional Honda CR-V. It's a 1.6 EX diesel, top of the range car. First the facelift models you can see here, just 23,000 miles and a full Honda service history, which I think was about 7 services, but I'll have to check that. But it has been beautifully looked after, finished in twilight blue, which always looks better in the flesh than it does on the videos, and with the contrasting ivory leather interior, which is incredibly sought after. Car's absolutely beautiful. Front of the car with the lights and lenses are clear and intact. Bonnet, I can't see a stone chip of any note on there at all. Near side of the car, absolutely indentation free. Near side front alloy, can't see a mark on it. Panel work on the side's absolutely glorious. Inside rear alloy again unmarked. Come on the back, bumper corners really clean. Likewise tailgate area and entry points really clean on this car. Offside, driver's side, again as with the near side, there's no indentations that sort of jump out at me at all. Offside rear alloy, again beautiful condition. Marine panels are lovely. And final alloy again really nice. I mean, it is in quite exquisite condition, in all honesty. There will be a minor blemish from somewhere, I'm sure, but I can't see it at the moment. Coming to the boot area, obviously electric boot, as you can see, working perfectly. Boot area has been kept beautifully, and it's enormous. Coming to the back now, enormous amounts of legroom in the back of the car, and the leatherwork's beautiful ivory leatherwork. Is in absolutely fantastic condition. Coming on the front of the passenger side, again wonderfully clean. Passenger seat there doesn't really look as though it's ever been used. Finally, coming to the driver's door card, again lovely and clean. Footwell areas again really clean. There is a full set of mats in this car as well, and driver's seat. And for an 8-year-old car, even with the mileage, is in lovely condition. So we're inside the car now. As always, I have the engine running, so the dash is seen illuminated. Dashboard, to all intents and purposes, looks like new. Sat nav, you can see absolutely works perfectly. Put the car into reverse there. Got that lovely gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should. Press a button there, and then that gives you access to the CD entry point behind there as well. Coming down again, absolutely lovely and clean. And up to the main dash binnacle. The only warning light you can see actually is just for low fuel, which I'll try and put off before I do the road test video. 23,299 miles. But it is an extraordinary car, this one. Finally, just to show you owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 1.6 EX diesel. This car is registered PJ65LCY with a remarkable mileage of just 23,299 recorded. The reason for all of our videos, and as I always say, especially this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone is online looking at any of our cars, they get to see the actual car they're looking at in operation. The reason we feel it's important is, unfortunately, like lots of people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs, but only to get them find out it's got an obvious fault that shows up when you drive the car. So hence that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on. Hopefully then it'll be representative of what you feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car itself, I mean, it's borderline like driving like a new car, like driving a new car rather. You know, it's low mileage, serviced all the way through by Honda. It doesn't get any better than that. Engine push button starts instantly and settles to a smooth and even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all related to the engine or any other part of the car, just a low fuel light. Didn't have time to put the fuel in before doing this. As soon as the fuel light goes out, the information light goes out. There's no other warning lights on the car at all. temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle, by the way. But a brilliant engine, obviously very powerful for its type, 160 horsepower, twin turbo. It's smooth and quiet in operation. It's flexible, docile, pulls like a train. Just touch the throttle there in third gear and it just launches you forward, and really does pick up pace very quickly indeed. I've owned a few of these and they are brilliant, and obviously the economy is terrific, you know, driven with any kind of sort of smoothness, or using the econ mode for the engine, rev prompter, gear prompter rather. Yeah, they are very efficient engines. Cam chain driven, so there's no cam belts to worry about on them, and being a Honda, they've got a reputation for being incredibly reliable over the long term. Engine then feeds into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch, as you'd expect, with the mileage to be perfect, and it is. Bite point's exactly where it's meant to be, and it's lovely and smooth in operation. Gearbox is your classic Honda gearbox, you know, almost better than it needs to be for this type of car, dare I say it, because other manufacturers seem to just put your gear changes in, which is more like trucks, you know, long throw, wafty, lifeless gear changes. This gear lever for start is mounted in the perfect position, nice and high, your hand falls naturally to it. But the gear changes themselves are just so, they're short and throw, they've got a lovely kind of snappy, you really feel like you're selecting a gear, which is all the more remarkable because you know, it is like most cars of this day and age, cable operated through to the gearbox, so it is beautifully done, and that feels like new, it really does. Steering on the car, again, Honda know this sector of the market incredibly well. The CR-V, best-selling SUV in the world for many years, and it's easy to see why, because when you drive the car, it is very car-like in the way it drives. Steering is beautifully weighted, it's got a real heft to it, a really nice, all those power steerings, you can steer it with one finger at low speeds. On the move, you've got some real weight to it, and that's really confidence inspiring when you're on the road. Also, when you turn in, you don't have to turn too far, you don't have to kind of, you know, the steering ratio is quite sort of sporty in setup, but it's not in feel. It's not a sports car, so I don't think it is. But it's very accurate, very precise, and perfectly matched the chassis. Because what the chassis gives you is this very comfortable, compliant ride. Because comfort is a really subjective thing. To some people, you know, a really pillowy ride is what they want. But unfortunately for this type of car, which is taller, that means when you go through corners you get kind of a real sort of lurching effect, and they keel over, and they can be really nauseating, you know, especially actually for the rear seat passengers. The CR-V is fantastic in that sense, because that's what they've set it up for. So it manages to give you this really comfortable ride, but when you go through tighter corners, when you go through some more challenging corners, it responds brilliantly. And as I said, that isn't to be confused with being sporty, because that's not what it's designed to do. What it is designed to do is just go through completely unflustered, and it does that absolutely brilliantly. Also, by the way, absolutely no kind of clonks, rattles, or anything coming from underneath the car that shouldn't be there. The car's as solid as a rock. Brakes on the car, I'm sure no one's directly behind me. Let's give it a good thump. There's a really good brake pedal on the car. Powerful, solid, no pulsing, no vibrations, so all in very fine order indeed. Finally, coming inside the car, you know, I was mentioning the adverts and walk around section. I love this interior, this ivory leather. The reason being is because for two reasons actually. One, it just brightens the interior up so much. You know, on duller days, you know, dark interiors can feel very kind of, you know, like you're in a coal mine a little bit. It's just all black. There's nothing to break it up. Just a bit of silver trim. This really does lift your mood on those dark days. But on really hot summer's days, they don't generate the heat like black seats seem to do. Sort of feel like. But also they you know, because they don't get as hot as the black seats, the back of your legs, or if you're wearing shorts or skirts or something like that, then you don't sort of burn the back of your legs in the same way. It's really, really lovely. But also, they are much easier to keep in good condition, people think. All you've got to do, or try and remember, is always carry some wet wipes in the car with a dry cloth. So basically, if you spill something, immediately just wipe it clean with the wet wipe, and then dry it straight away, because that's the important bit, to dry it. And you keep them looking absolutely pristine. I mean, this interior is in just gorgeous condition, really is. The rest of the dash is just your classic Honda, just so simple to, you can just jump in and drive. It's a really easy car. 2 or 3 days in the vehicle and it all becomes second nature, really. Everything's working as you'd expect. Sat nav, nice big sat nav screen, again simple to operate. Oh my goodness me, you better go. Yeah, it's very simple to operate. Then you've got the dual zone climate control system, so you can have different temperatures side to side if you so wish. That also, by the way, pumps out absolutely ice cold air. We checked that in a nice warm workshop earlier. What videos never or can't show you, of course, is build quality, because these are brilliantly put together cars. No squeaks, no rattles. Feels like it's sort of made out of something sort of granite-like. But also every single button and switch and everything you press and touch has a solid engineered tactile feel, you know, whether it be the gear change, whether it be turning a rotary knob like that one or pressing a button. It's really satisfying, and it may seem unimportant, but it's amazing how grating some things can be on cars. When they're flimsy to hold, they've got a sort of rough edge to them, and Honda work incredibly hard at that kind of thing, and they've done a lovely job. Dash and front, by the way, simple, easy, legible dials, minimalist by modern standards, but all the better for it. Lovely small diameter leather bound steering wheel, which looks like new and feels like new in hand as well. The only button you won't find in any CR-V is a four-wheel drive button, because even though this is four-wheel drive, it does it automatically. And Honda have done it for decades now. And it's a brilliant system, because basically Honda worked out that the vast majority of people would drive it as I am today, in perfectly good conditions. We just don't need four-wheel drive on. So the way it works is dead simple. The car runs in front-wheel drive pretty much the whole time, two-wheel drive. And that's the most efficient way to pull any car along. If you were to pull away on sort of snow, ice or mud, and your front wheels momentarily lost grip, via the traction control system, which reacts far quicker than you could ever do yourself, it automatically brings in seamlessly the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive, and it is incredibly effective. You know, I always say in these videos, we've got a CR-V, we've had them for year after year after year. We tow a caravan and we've never come close to getting stuck with it. It's a really good system. Also, by dint of the fact that it's hardly ever been used, it's incredibly reliable and robust. You know, I can't remember the last time we ever touched one, you know, in all our time in business. You know, also, clearly the advantages over a permanent four-wheel drive system are you're not going to go through your tyres as quickly, you're definitely going to use less fuel, and it puts far less mechanical stress to the vehicle, as I just said. So, but this is a wonderful car. You know, it drives absolutely faultlessly, as you'd clearly expect, and whoever gets it next is going to take on a lovely, lovely car indeed.